All right, we are going to start our discussion about Stranger Things season 5
Mm-hmm.
finale. It is all over.
It's
Oh
over,
my god.
y'all.
Hold on. It's over. It's over now. Move over. You remember that?
I do.
The
Meanwhile, I got the K
games.
Bush song in my head.
Eh,
Na, 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 na,
Bro, let me man, okay, we gonna start here. Anyway, Lucas hair. Let's start.
na. There in this world,
So
there is a comment by me that says in asterisks, radio noise. Target confirmed. We ride at dawn. Over. That's what it says. It's on the video of the hair artist doing the hair. I'll
yeah.
never forgive him.
So the prevailing discussion is that the town is evacuated. It's been almost a year or whatever it is, and he don't have his barber. Are you buying that excuse for what they gave us?
No. No. Watching the barber, the actual like movie production barber, piece on the hair and make that shape pissed me off so daggone bad. Because why give him the proper high top in all the other seasons and then give him the angled Grace Jones shit for the last season? Y'all should have more money, but there should be better investments and decisions made. They had him look like the black character off of Captain Planet. I don't appreciate it. I don't appreciate the angled.
Yeah.
Where y'all got my man's in the Nefertiti hat? What's going?
Oh, Grace. Okay, I got you.
What's going on? Why I gotta look up Nefertiti? Why y'all got Lucas in the Nefertiti hat? Please, I can't do it.
Yeah, I'm with you. The barber thing. I'm like, no, I don't want to hear. I don't. There's so many inconsistencies and continuity that Lucas's hair and his barber is not one y'all had to sacrifice. Like, we've seen Caleb's hair. It ain't unmanageable. It ain't like he got locks or something where you got to hide it under a wig. You could have easily let him
it according to the roles that he's in too. So I know he wasn't opposed to growing it out.
You could have let him use his own hair. Like, it is a night and day difference from looking at that man last season in season 4 with the little, high top Gumby going on to whatever the hell crown he had in season 5. I'm talking about the entire season. It wasn't like one episode, like, okay, we got our jokes off.
They made him go to makeup every day and get that shit. Same shape and everything.
But in the finale, I couldn't focus. I'm like, hey, yo, what is like the whole
the angle was getting wider and wider by a centimeter. His real hair was growing under that shit and it was just going out.
I couldn't take nothing he said serious, bro.
And that's my dude, $100,000. I love that little boy. He a grown man now, but I love him. But they did him in with that.
Okay.
I hate watching. Let's talk about kid actors growing up and having to like dead their social media. Caleb McCullough, I don't never say his last name right, but I love this kid. And he was pretty prominent on TikTok, but there's always rebranding and stuff, and he always take all his videos off. And I miss the little dance videos and stuff. I miss dance era Caleb and singing Caleb. If I take her home to my granny, yeah. I miss that kid. But he trying to rebrand, so I get it. But them was some of my favorite little videos.
I don't get his hair. That's all I got to say. They did Lucas dirty. Like, there's a lot to talk about, but there's no justice needed more than that Lucas's hairstyle. That was like that was the real upside down. I was really upset. I can't. Anyway, all right. So let's get into the show. Let's go.
Oh, let me go pull up a play-by-play of these episodes, this title, so I can remember which episode is what.
Well, let's go with your overall impressions. Finale included, but not just finale. Do you think season 5 was a good ending? Not even good. Do you think it lived up to the quality of the rest of the series?
I think that season 5, as far as like quality and how they moved, was pretty consistent to, for me, what they were putting out. I don't think that it moved far away from what we were getting. I know people always want the last season to just have all of this, extra added stuff. I feel like if they would have did too much, people would have hollered about that. If they don't do enough, I feel like people are gonna holler no matter what they would have done, even if they did try to like ramp it up a bit more. I feel like it was a very consistent pace and product to the other seasons. Me personally.
Yeah, I agree. I thought in general the whole thing, I think it lived up to what I expect from Stranger Things. I personally hold season 4 in high regard. So I don't know if it reached those heights, but I do think like in general it wasn't off brand. It was very on brand to what Stranger Things was, and I think it definitely didn't end on like this was by far the strongest season, but I do think it was in line with a lot of the other stuff that we got.
Right. Yeah. I feel like the season 4, and also I feel like we have to acknowledge the ebbs and flow that got messed up with the whole pandemic and the writers
Right. Yeah.
strike, and having to like wait a long time to even film it. These kids are getting older, and I feel like there was some small things that kind of contributed to it, like trying to rework and get back into these relationships with people. There's a lot that goes into like the natural camaraderie and stuff, and these kids are coming of age too. They went from little kids to young adults, and it's stuff is a lot more playful when you're a kid because you don't really care about much at that time. So I'm sure the set was a lot more fun because they're little kids doing little kid shit. But now they have personalities, they have opinions, I think that also contributes to the dynamic. That I knew that season 5 was going to be a little bit different from the earlier ones. Just the fact that the kids are getting older. Yeah.
So, let's just talk about the story. So we got volume 1, which was 4 episodes around Thanksgiving. Then we got 3. Then we got the finale.
Right.
So volume 1, we pick up, like I mentioned before, a little bit after where season 4 ended. The town is under quarantine. Everybody's pretty much going back to their regular lives except Robin is doing the radio to signal for the crawls, and Elle is training with Hopper to get ready, all that. What do you think about volume 1 and how they set up everything?
So it was, for me, it was like, am I going to be able to hop back into this thing and feel okay about it? And I feel like they did a decent job with, streamrolling me back into this world that is Stranger Things. Because I was a little worried that I was going to get in and be like, do I even remember stuff? Like, I'm like, do I even remember what the fuck happened? Like, I don't know. So I think they did a decent job of like roping me back into like understanding. Oh, here's where we are in the in the story. Because for people like me who forget stuff very quickly, I thought I was going to be so lost coming into this season. I'm like, do I remember what happened? I don't know. I'm not one of those folks who remember every little detail, and so I wish I was. But yeah, so I think they did okay. What about you? What you think? I don't know.
Yeah, no. I was plugged back then, and I don't know. I thought it was interesting. The whole quarantine thing with the military was a little surprising to me. I guess the time jump in general is a little surprising to
hmm
me. I thought it would pick up like right away and we get into it, but
hmm
everybody kind of fell back into their roles and they let life go on. Obviously, they still doing their thing, but everybody like still going to school. I don't know. Honestly, what it reminded me of was Harry Potter. So Harry Potter, by the time you get to the seventh book, Deathly Hollows, all bets is off. Like they not going back to school. They like fugitives of the law. And I
Yeah.
remember the Half Blood Prince at the end of that. It was like things not normal no more. We not going back to school. We not talking to family. Like we in the trenches. And I felt like that's where we were headed with Stranger Things. But then it went to no, things are normal. So we had
Right. That was, yeah. Go ahead.
no, we had the whole thing with Dustin and the bullies, and I'm like, I get it, but also I'm like, this what we dealing with? Like we doing this right now? We got bigger fish to fry. And so like
I
I don't
think,
know.
yeah, though, trying to rope in the fact that they're still, that was one thing that was weird for me, is like all of this is happening and y'all have it sometimes happening in public settings, but you want me to believe that most of the town folks don't know that these things are hobbling around. You got attacks in hospitals and stuff like that, and you want me to believe that they think just an earthquake happened. I feel like there's some, that was the one thing I was like, even at the end when they were like the Great Quake, I'm like, what? Like, y'all had
Yeah.
these Demogorgons like popping out in, in regular venues. You citizens didn't see this? Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
y'all didn't show us nothing when nobody was getting flash boom like, Men in Black with their memory, erased. Like, I, what?
Honestly, because of what we going through right now in real life, I didn't even think twice about people's
That's true.
allusion to the establishment, to be
When you put it
honest.
like that.
But yeah, I mean,
That's
most
true.
people
Yeah,
left,
people can be clueless too. Yeah, I agree.
but also you got to realize these are the people that stayed. Like at the end of season 4, a lot of people left. These are people that's still in town. Like if you stayed in town through all this military confinement, then you must really be drinking the Kool-Aid. So,
Honestly, yeah. When you
um,
put it like that.
but yeah, so we got that whole thing, and I just thought in the first volume the relationships were the dynamics were interesting. Some of it was repetitive. We had Hopper being overprotective with Elle. I'm like, we
Mm-hmm.
still doing this. Nancy, like the two dudes fighting over her. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, we still doing this. But I like some of the advancement of the relationships. I like the main Lucas, Mike, Will, Dustin being back together. All those good things. And so that stuff was more interesting to me, even to the point. Hold on. No, that might have been volume 2. But eventually Steve and Dustin had a little conflict where they butt heads
Mm-hmm.
because
Yeah, I think that was in
Dustin,
volume 2.
excuse me, Dustin pretty much takes the role of Max. Max was like in season 4 very depressed about her brother, and she was, kind of disassociated. and Dustin was disassociated about the death of Eddie. So I was interested that they decided to like really lean into that. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that causes a rift with him and Steve and all that. So I thought the relationships between everybody, for the most part, except like Joyce, I feel like Joyce and Hopper, they really let down this season. They didn't do too much. Like I said, Hopper was repetitive and Joyce didn't really do much. She was kind of repetitive too.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was being protective, but I thought it was interesting. It was an interesting way to lead us back into it because we didn't really know what Vecna was doing.
Yeah.
Like he popped up with Holly, and I thought that was a little random, but I was like, obviously we got somewhere to go with this. So I thought it was a good little setup, but so the volume ends where, because yeah, we got Derek, we got the family, and we got all that Erica. It ends when they're trying to save the kids from the military base, and Will ends up showing he has powers. I went crazy when Will
That was
took when Will took over and killed those Demogorgons. I went insane. That was a good ending. That was a
yeah.
Stranger Things ending cliffhanger.
I agree. That was a very exciting thing, and I be trying to have to be I be happen to be quiet because I be watching this in the middle of the night with my family sleep, so I can't get too hyped. But I'm sure I threw a pillow or two,
Yeah.
since I couldn't yell. I'm
So
trying to tell you,
I feel like they did Will the best out of this season. Um,
they better have, because at before this he was just a kid with the itchy neck, and it was getting a little annoying. Ain't gonna lie.
yeah, they
Nigga couldn't do
once
no fights. He couldn't do none of the fighting scenes. He just somewhere laid out. Oh, my neck. You know.
yeah.
So I'm glad they gave him some due justice, because yeah, it was gonna definitely be needed.
All right, so let's just jump ahead to the finale. What did you think of how it wrapped up? There's a lot of discussion about how it wrapped up, and to recognize it is hard to wrap up such a
Something,
huge
yeah, so
series.
massive. It had like an ending to an ending to an ending. I feel like they had like four ending decisions, and they were like, let's just do all of them. Like every time I thought it was done, and I'm like, all right, cool, yeah, they beat it. They do this. You know what I'm saying? Then we at the graduation. I'm like, all right, yeah, the kids graduated, cool. Then they got the four older kids on the roof. I'm like, oh, babe, what are we doing here? Okay, we don't got to wrap up all this shit. There's some stuff that could have just been laid out, for us to guess. We didn't have to see it all. I felt like it was like so checklisty. Like
Mm-hmm.
what, like every plot that was ever made, every relationship, every this, every that, like let's check the box and make sure that we resolve every single, like, it felt too checklisty to me. And I'm like, I didn't need that. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
even if they would have stopped even if they would have stopped it before the graduation stuff and all of that, where they just defeated, you know, you know, and stop the realms from colliding and stuff like that. Like you would have been Gucci. But now, okay, coming back to normal life, yeah. So I said, okay, I see where they're going here. But when it just kept going on, and they just kept now Hopper proposing, and I'm like, fuck all that. I don't want to see all that. Why are we here? Why are we doing this? Nigga stuttering to order food on a menu like he ain't a caveman at a nice restaurant. All that. That's why I think I even told Terry, like, I was like, bro, I got 25 minutes, because I was just so done. I'm like, what are we doing here? So I left and
yeah.
went and did some stuff and came back and watched it, because I just thought it was just overdone.
Well, that's funny because I feel like a lot of people online say that's their favorite part as opposed to the second part. Um, because
I'm
it
not
was
a
two
big I've never
hours.
been a fan of a gift wrapped ending. I'm not one of I like a little I like to be able to, as a creative, even myself, I like to be able to be like, to have a what if, or to say, I wonder if this happened. Just to have that extra wonder. I mean, that's why you fell in love with the show anyway. You was wondering what was happening next. I like being able to be like, oh, I wonder if this would have happened. What if, you can't even do no theories with that. It was just like, here's your neatly tight bowed finale. And I'm like, I ain't want that.
Yeah, I agree. It was a tight bow. Like they really was like, let's let's just tie it up nice and easy. Although some people complain that it didn't do enough, and it's a hard mix to get in terms of like being able to do everything that everybody wants, but also not doing too much, because I think there's a lot of storylines they left unsatisfied.
Hmm.
But I do agree that it felt kind of paint by numbers, is what I would say.
For me, um, the reason why I feel like a lot of us fell in love with the show, it felt very nostalgic. Reminded us of an era when we were kids and stuff like that. I just didn't like that we were in the middle of action scenes and having like counseling sessions every action scene. It's like, oh, the building is melting. You know, I don't know. I guess I thought you were just needed another guy. Oh no, it wasn't that. I just needed some space. Like, why are we doing this? Why the fucking building's melting? I don't, I don't know. And maybe
Yeah.
it's because I'm not into like romance like that. But all the little relationship mending stuff that was happening mid like the action scenes. I don't know. Besides Dustin and Steve, I felt like that was a very powerful something. But like all the hopeless romantic stuff with the other characters, I ain't need all of that. I really didn't.
Yeah, I like the Jonathan and Nancy scene, but I like the
I wouldn't have minded. I'm
discussion
talking
of
about their placement for it. That was,
no, no,
yeah.
no, that's what I'm saying. I like the discussion they had, but that actual scene bothered me because the physics were just so
That
inconsistent.
the walls are
And
melting down, but he can't knock a door down,
yeah, right. I was, yes, exactly. So
pissing
it's
me
like,
off.
and we're not talking real life physics. We talking about the physics they showed us in the show. Like this
Yeah,
is melting, this is falling through, but not this. None of it. Like I just felt
and
what
the
they
fact that they were
wanted.
saved with Dustin and them breaking the wall. They
I,
crashed through the wall. Y'all had a whole bunch of furniture legs in there, and y'all couldn't just crash through the wall either.
I just feel like what they wanted for the most part in the whole season, what they wanted to do was cool. How they got to it felt either rushed or just um not plausible. And
Mm.
that's how I felt most of it. Like even the finale, like the stuff they talk about with people's futures and whatever. Like I'm cool with the idea of it being that. It's just how you got to that point and how you delivered it felt off to me. It felt like, whether you, like you said, checklist or paint by numbers, it felt
Yeah,
too.
I didn't need to see that baseball team.
I mean, again, to me, I
Mm-mm.
like the stuff. I just, the way they gave it to us, I felt it wasn't clever. It wasn't creative. It was very much like fast food, like microwave, heat it up, here you go. And so, um, and I think that Nancy scene with Jonathan is a perfect example. Like, there's good stuff in there, there's good dialogue in there, there's good acting, but just the way I almost feel, and it's so funny that we was talking about this earlier, but excuse me, y'all. I almost feel like Bill Cosby and what he said in the Cosby Show when he was talking to Alvin, and I don't know if you remember that. It's a famous scene where he was talking about the steak dinner, and how you gave me a great steak dinner, but you put it on a garbage can lid to serve it to
Right.
me. And
Yeah.
he was, so that's how it felt to me. It was great content, but the way you served it up just wasn't
You're
it.
like, this ain't it. Something's up.
So that's how I felt. So when it was over, I mean, I feel like everybody's gonna be like, that's it. But when it was over, I was just like, man, y'all took the sucker way out. Y'all went so easy peasy that everybody's hunky dory. Like the government ain't bothering nobody. They just was like, oh, I guess it's over, and y'all like just living y'all life. And
Yeah. They didn't even let us have L just being dead.
no,
I
no,
mean,
no,
y'all
no.
I think
So
y'all not enough people died, personally. They facing
I
all of this stuff and they going up against something even bigger than Vecna, and everybody made it home.
yeah, I felt that way too. And I don't got a bloodlust.
I don't either. But with a show like that, with what you built up to what you had to fight, you know what I'm saying? And then you get up there
Yeah,
and all of y'all kids with only two people out there who actually know how to shoot, and y'all all made it home successfully fighting against this big ass entity.
yeah.
What?
It just felt like there weren't stakes. Like you said. So part of me is like they've been through a lot. They a little desensitized. They're a little cooler under pressure.
Yeah.
But it's also the part of me that's like, yo, y'all a little too calm. Like you said, the whole room is melting. We gonna have this conversation now. Now you could look at it as like a nihilist, like, hey, it's the end of, you know, our lives. You know, it's just that type of moment where we gonna lean into the beauty of the end type
Right. We thought
thing.
we were about to die and get
But,
stuck in here.
but it's too
Like
much.
I
It's
get
just too
it, but
many.
yeah.
It's too many moments where they are just too chill. Like it, it just feels like, yeah, we've been here before. Yeah, we did this. Yeah, yeah, this is
Yeah,
messed
this is our
up, but boy,
everyday.
right, exactly. It's too mundane. It feels mundane, and the finale is supposed to feel like these are the ultimate stakes, and it felt like
Yeah.
another Tuesday. Like we're the mom. Look, mom, go rest. Don't worry, we gonna get
Even with
out of
all
you.
of the added kids, like these niggas just got kidnapped, and you mean to tell me they all just la da di da dooby doo 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 doo, like
It's just like it's gonna work out. Like just
no.
put like
Even as a kid, even if it is an individual that I'm seeing, there's got I like that even. There's no explanation of the fact that if the kids know that other people can't see Mr. What's It or not, there should be some fear about this imaginary friend or if he's imaginary real. You know what I'm saying? Like there was some things that I was just like, I don't know. It was just
yeah,
too hunky dory sometimes, and I'm like, or just like that. So you know, 12 little kids are comfortable talking to this thing and drawing this Mr. What's It, and they are just comfortable with the fact that nobody else can see him. There's no interactions of the kids trying to like tell the parents about it, because you got to remember, even the one story we did get a look into, Holly's story, she's drawing things that doesn't look like a person. You see what I'm saying?
mhm,
So even the correlation of the nigga that they seeing versus what she's drawing is two different things too. So of course the family just think it's like a little imaginary friend or something like that. But I'm like, there is no acknowledgement that they're having whole conversations with a regular looking person, and then we get a Mr. What's It drawing and it's a monster, or like some just, I don't know. There was some gaps there for me with the comfortability of the kids just going,
yeah.
with
I
yeah.
I think overall, um, just to wrap it up, when I've had a day or so to let it rest. I feel that the ending, as easy cake as it is, it still gives me enough good feelings to be like,
Mm-hmm.
all right, we're done with this. You know, that's cool. Like, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, outside of critiquing it, just because we're like, I want to have a watchful eye, I still enjoyed it. Like, yeah.
Well, I won't go that far, but
Oh
I
Lord.
will say the ending, the second hour, I'm like, okay, that feels good enough. Like, okay, let's, we done. Especially like at our age, I feel like the kids was younger than us when it started, but we been through
Mm-hmm.
those phases of life where, whatever. Now that's without me factoring in the fact y'all went through this craziest supernatural adventures. I don't see me having a regular life after that, but whatever. So y'all give us the ending. It feels comfortable enough to say goodbye. But as a whole, the finale, especially the first hour, and just in general, it felt so cheap and like just getting across the finish line.
Honestly, and I stand by my statement on Will. All of this, the shame that you was carrying, he was able to get you to do all of this because you gay. That's it. I needed his secret to be that he stabbed somebody when he was a kid or something. Like,
Well, I
baby,
mean, we knew his secret was he was gay. Like, they
I
was,
know, but that's not justifiable for all of this. That
I
was
don't
what you
know.
were scared to share with people.
I don't think that was caused everything, but um, at least in this moment, this season, that was
That's how
his
they kind
big.
of spunt it to me. Like, I was shameful. I want to be honest, and I don't want to be his, imprisoned by him anymore. And I'm trying to reclaim my power and all of this stuff. And I,
I think
you
at one point he said he didn't know what it was or what he was going through, and that's probably why he was so insecure as a little kid and why he was vulnerable. But
because they just dropped the bomb in there, like, oh yeah, Will was the one building all the tunnels in his sleep when he was a kid, and he was the one who X, Y, and
yeah,
Z, and he was the. I'm like, pause. This is too much going on. So he just in his sleep creating dimensions, and y'all just not getting to it
yeah.
in
I
the last
mean,
4 episodes.
you bring up a good point though. The Will coming out scene is a huge controversy, um, and I didn't even think about touching on that. But to me, that's just another example of this season where it's just like I think, like you said, was correct. It felt checklisty. It felt like we got to do these things, but we're not going to put too much thought in about how we get to these and execute it. It was just like
Mm-hmm.
it got to happen. This has to happen, and I'm just like, oh my god, that scene was sloppy, in my opinion. The way they handled it was kind of sloppy. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, cheers to Stranger Things, the long run.
Yeah, come a long way. What year was the first season drop? How long we been in this dimension?
I
When
think they
did
said it was 9 or 10 years,
we
or
had a
less than
decade?
10. Yeah, but we had a lot of good memories along the way. A lot of good content. We got to see this cast grow up, revitalize
2016, July 15th. So yeah, almost a decade. Yeah, wow.
revitalized a lot of careers,
Mm-hmm.
resurrected Kate Bush, and yeah, man. I mean,
Oh, as a now Minnesotan too, we appreciate. I know the Minnesotans went crazy with the inclusion of the Prince records in the last episode
yeah.
too.
Oh
They've
yeah,
been
but
over here
Prince in
cutting up.
general.
Yeah.
Yeah, Prince. I mean, that was a good needle drop choice.
Mm-hmm.
It just, man, it almost feels like you need a whole nother season to end this, but there's probably no good way to end it, and
No,
it was never gonna be perfect, but
going in, I knew that. So for me, I was like, I'm gonna happily accept what's given because there's not really a way to. There's no end all be all way to wrap this. That's not gonna get critiqued to hell.
so shout out to Stranger Things, and we had a good run. Had a good run.
Yeah. Also, what I guess we can be done. I was just also thinking about now. I'm just got all the little small stuff I had beef with Callie and all that stuff like that. Her being roped in for this season,
Yeah. I
and
mean, there's a bunch of there's a lot of discussion to be had, and I'm sure it will be had over
yeah, but ain't gonna
the
happen
next.
today. But yeah, I was like, I still need more time to think on some things and
Yeah.
process some things. This is my just initial thoughts, but I'm sure I'll be agitated and irritated in a week or two. Talking about, you know what? Hell no. But for right now, it's all bliss, and I enjoyed it. Mm.
All right, so that's it for our Netflix wrap up. So go to the comment section. Let us know what you think. Get the convo started. Thumbs up, subscribe, and thank you for being here for a long time and a good time.
Hey.